What made me decide to start this 100 Lunches with Strangers journey? That's such a good question, because I was forced to do that. I used to be really shy, lack of confidence, and just struggling a little bit in life, because I wasn't born here in Australia. I was born in Hong Kong, came to Australia 13 years ago for education. But for the first 12 years of my life, I only hang out with people exactly the same as me, like people from Hong Kong. And I felt like I lived in a little bubble. I couldn't get out of my comfort zone. Don't get me wrong, like life was okay, but I felt like there's more in life. I've learned so much throughout my journey with 100 Lunches with Strangers. I've learned to be grateful. I've learned how to communicate and connect with people. I've learned so much that it really changed my life entirely. And if I had to pick number one lesson that I've learned, is really about me. Who's Kaley? Because yes, I learned a lot about the stranger and their life and their story. But more than that, or more important than that, I learn about myself through strangers' questions again and again, you know. Honestly, I feel like a completely different person now compared to 2 years ago when I first started this journey. 100 Lunches with Strangers completely changed my life, both personal and business perspective. Personally, because I used to be so shy and I couldn't talk to people. Now that I can talk, that makes a big difference. From my confidence level, how I feel about myself, that's just amazing feeling that I feel like if there's any challenges coming to me, I can overcome that because I've done it and I can do that. And my life just become a lot more interesting because I feel like a lot of people ask me simple questions like, what's my hobby, what I do for fun, and simple questions like that I couldn't answer before because I had such a boring life, which is terrible. But now I've got a much more interesting life. I did skydiving, I tried stand-up comedy with my husband. And even my relationship with my husband and my kids got much better because I've got more stories to share. I say yes a lot more often, and I just have much better communication skills in general. So that is so good, like the personal perspective. If I had to give someone an advice, that would be, the number one would be go out and meet more strangers, because strangers are really equals to opportunities for everything. I still remember my book launch last year. I had a long list of people that I want to thank on stage that I wrote down. And the interesting thing is, when I looked back on this list, there are about 25, 30 people on the list. 90% of them, I didn't even know them the year before, and yet they all changed my life and helped me so much. So go out and meet more strangers. I know for some of you it's an easy job, for other people it might be dreadful, like how I felt before. When I first started, it was terrifying, but from terrifying to uncomfortable, and I started to feel comfortable about it. And now I absolutely love and enjoy meeting strangers for lunch. And in fact, I haven't stopped having lunch with strangers. I now have more than 240 lunches now and counting, because I really love it so much.